In the last tutorial, I introduced you to the Checkbox Edits interface and showed you the display edits. In this tutorial, we will go over the most commonly used checkbox edits, type edits. The type edits control which characters are allowed in a field and where those characters are put. The most important concept for dealing with type edits is the field's overall type. This gives a field its basic definition. The most familiar type is typewriter. This simply lets you use every key on the keyboard. It behaves exactly as if you were typing in Notepad or a word processor. Next is numeric. The numeric field type allows you to type numbers. It also allows you to type oversign characters. If you know what oversign is, pat yourself on the back. For the rest of you, know that oversign is a way for mainframe computers to mark negative numbers, and that Unibase can do it. Related to numeric is mostly numeric. In addition to numbers and oversign, it also allows you to type uppercase letters and blanks. This might be useful if you were keying something in hexadecimal, or maybe Canadian postal codes, but to be honest, mostly numeric is not a popular field type here at DMAC. Opposite numeric and mostly numeric is alpha, which lets you type letters and blanks. Notice that by default, it only lets you type uppercase letters. This is historical. The old mainframes that data entry used to have to feed didn't understand lowercase letters. And we hang on to it today because keyers cannot make capitalization mistakes. It is easier to force proper capitalization on output. But if you really want lowercase letters, you can use the both type, which allows both uppercase and lowercase. This leaves only two types left, upper and lower. These are historic types, and their names only make sense if you have ever worked with a mainframe computer. On the surface, they look the same. Both allow uppercase characters only, which is just the first way that upper and lower are confusing to newcomers, and both allow numbers, punctuation, and blanks. The difference is in embedded numerics. Embedded numerics are a way of typing numbers with your right hand without having to reach for the keypad. When set up to use embedded numerics, if you hold down the Shift key in lower mode, then the letters U, I, O, J, K, L, and M, the comma, and the period are translated into the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. In upper mode, this translation always occurs unless you hold the Shift key. In addition, in upper mode, the actual number keys default to giving the punctuation printed on the upper part of the key, except for the 9 key, which, for historical reasons, produces a 0. Again, this does not apply if you hold down Shift in upper mode, or only applies if you hold down Shift in lower mode. Each of these types is further described by its subtypes. You will note that as I change the main type, the various subtypes also change to match. For most of the types, the subtypes can be used to customize a field by clicking on each subtype and choosing either yes or no as needed. The exceptions are alpha and numeric, which, for historical reasons, can only be made more restrictive, not less. If you try to allow more kinds of characters in an alpha or numeric field than are originally allowed, it may look right in the record format generator, but it won't do what you expect in data entry. After the subtypes are some other controls for fields. Right justify, when set to yes, causes data to be pushed to the right-hand side of a field if the data does not fill the entire field. A field not right justified is left justified. Fill if data and fill if no data determine how justification is done. If anything is typed into a field, Unibase will pad it out to fill the field with the character mentioned in the fill if data box. If a field is skipped completely, it is filled with the character mentioned in the fill if no data box. The fill occurs either to the left or right, depending on your choice for right justify. This concludes our tutorial on type edits. Next is a series of short tutorials discussing some of the simpler types of checkbox edits: output placement, completion edits, and mode edits.